dogs went and saw Patches like down, hurt, inside of this bear trap with her leg, and they were barking at her. They were like, "Arr, arr, arr," and she was looking at them, and she was like, "Arr, arr." She was barking back at them, but she was hurt. Every time she barked, it would make her back leg hurt even more and more. She tried, but she just couldn't. So she just got down and she just laid down and collapsed. And when she laid down and collapsed, this is gross what I'm about to say. It's terrible, but I have to say it. When she laid down and collapsed, you could hear her back leg snap because she laid down on it. It was like trapped in a bear trap. And then when it did that, she went boo, and then she lay down. And then here comes the hunter, this big tall white man, really skinny, but he looks strong. Has his gun, and he sees the wolf there, and he tells his dogs to get back. And he looks at her, and then before he even approaches her completely, he reaches inside of this bag that he has that's on his belt, and then he pulls out this muzzle, and he slowly puts the muzzle on Patches. Patches is laying there, and then after he put the muzzle on her and secured it, he started touching her on her head and started petting her. He said, "It's all right." And he looked to see if it was a boy or a girl. He saw it was a girl. He says, "It's all right, girl. It's all right." And then Patches started crying. So this man took Patches out of the bear trap, and he picked her up, and then he put her inside of this kind of like wheelbarrow looking thing that he had like several feet away from where they were. Actually, it wasn't several feet. It was several yards because, they were out hunting. And then he and his dogs took her back to his cabin. What were they going to do with her? When the other wolves returned back to their community and they saw their leader, we're going to call their leader Alpha. Alpha was not happy when he found out that Patches had gotten hurt and she was captured. Now, he may be a tough guy, but this wolf cares. And you can tell he really cares when he yells. Because he yells at the other wolves. He's like, "What? What happened to Patches? Why didn't you fight for her? We couldn't fight. We couldn't fight. I mean, there was a hunter there. And he had a gun and we heard dogs and everything. We must rescue Patches. But how are we going to do that? We don't know where she was taken." And all of the wolves got quiet. Even some of the other animals that were around. And they had concocted a plan that one day, if things got really bad, that the wolves would be, people that know animals, people would know if it's a wolf or a regular dog. Unless you're just a person that can't really tell that much the difference between a wolf, coyote, dog, animal, hyena, or whatever. But these certain wolves concocted a plan that one day if things got too bad, they would take some of their friends, their wild dog friends out there that still looked kind of like domesticated dogs, and have them go undercover as a regular dog and pretend like they were hurt or hungry or with a sad face, just to infiltrate a person's house, maybe to rescue one of their own. But they considered that because they all had a meeting, and Alpha was there, and the leader of the wild dog pack was there, all of them, and we'll call the leader of the wild dog pack, we'll call him Manwich, because he was a boxer looking kind of dog, and he was big, muscular, and lean, and tall, and he looked. You've heard of the Sloppy Joe sauce called Manwich? Well, he looked hardy, so we'll call him Manwich. But they decided we don't know if we should risk that. And so there was a lot of crying that night among those dogs and those wolves. They were like, because they missed Patches. Patches was just precious to them, very precious, Meanwhile, back at the cabin where the hunter took Patches, the hunter was actually taking care of her. He patched her leg up. Of course, he kept the muzzle on because Patches would have tore him up. I don't care if she is 15. She would have tore him up. And when I say 15, I mean 15 in animal age, in dog age, not 15 in human age. So in other words, she was very young. And then after he fed her and cleaned her, he put her inside of this kennel, this big kennel. It was humongous, and it was in front of it there was this screen, where she could see out, and everything. So she was just resting one night, and then this hunter, we'll call him Mr. We'll call him Mr. Man. I had a 6th grade teacher once called Mr. Man when I went to school in Germany. And this guy, he went to bed that night, and he had a fireplace, and then and the fireplace was let down, and all the fire was put out. And then his dogs were still up. That's why he put her in a kennel, because just in case his dogs get any bright ideas. But they were nice. The only time they got riled up is when they, were doing natural things that dogs do, like protecting their master or going out hunting. But they were pretty nice. And they could talk to this wolf. And she was laying down, Patches was laying down in the kennel, and she opened her eyes. She has these nice, beautiful, glowing, gray-blue eyes. And she looked at him, and then they're all three looking at her, this big old giant Saint Bernard and these 2 hunting dogs. And then the smaller hunting dog, the smallest hunting dog, he said, "Hey, what's your name?" And she says, "Patches. What's it to you?" He says, "Well, look like you got yourself really messed up, Patches. Does it hurt?" And she says, "Ha, you know what? I bet you couldn't even handle it, even though you're a boy." "I'm not a boy. I'm a full-grown hunting dog." "Ha ha ha. I bet you're not even old enough to stop suckling." Ah! And then his dog was like, "Arr!" He was getting upset because Patches was laying it to him. And then the Saint Bernard says, "We're sorry about what happened to you. Sometimes that happens. There's been a lot of bears out here, and they've been doing some really horrible things. A little girl was killed by a bear recently, so we had to do that. We had to put that bear trap out there." And then Patches says, "Well, it couldn't have been one of our bears." "What do you mean one of your bears?" And then Patches thought, never mind. She couldn't tell him. She couldn't tell him that there was a secret place where secret animals hid. Maybe it was a bear that was on the outside of that place. And then so they talked back and forth. Then Patches got on the topic, just try to. She's very smart alecky, but she's nice, I guess, when she wants to be. She said, "You know what? Where I come from, dogs like you are soft.